Hey, boys and girls, welcome back to Midgame Life Crisis! I'm your host, Inconsistency, and with me is a werewolf. Hello, werewolf.
Hey, I'm the big chunk of fur in front of you.
Yes. So, we wanted to talk to you guys about something.
An internet phenomena.
What's
a gaming phenomena.
Yeah. What was it named again?
Black Myth Wukong.
Yes, Black Myth Wukong. Yes. This game came out a few days ago.
Yeah.
And basically broke a lot of records.
Broke the internet. I just want to say from the top, we're not going to discuss gameplay or how good or bad the game is. I don't think it's bad.
Obviously.
But we're going to discuss the phenomena, the way this thing just popped into our lives out of nowhere.
I mean, we haven't gotten to play it yet. I'm planning on playing it, so it's definitely on my wish list, and I'm going to buy it the second I can. And
it's not my cup of tea.
Yeah, but we're not talking about the actual game here. We're talking about the phenomenon, just like you said, that broke the internet, basically. Yeah, let us know. Give us some numbers here, so people understand what we're talking about.
10 million units sold on all platforms.
Yeah? Sheesh!
This is 4 days in or something?
A single-player game, yeah?
A single-player game which is in AAA quality. It's got AAA success. But none of the fucking usual Western industry AAA shenanigans. It's full game, you pay one price, it doesn't have a gazillion editions.
No season passes, no battle passes, no microtransactions.
No cosmetics to buy, nothing. And it's not even designed to give you more DLCs or segues into more parts of the game. No, it's designed to be replayed.
It's a pure single player game.
Yes, and it's gorgeous.
Oh yeah, that's one thing that nobody can deny. The game is absolutely fantastic. Like from the visual standpoint, it looks so good. And not only graphically, by the way, it's UE5, the game engine.
Yeah.
Not only graphically amazing, but also the animation of the characters and the bosses. It reminds me of From Software. It reminds me a little bit of the Dark Souls games, and not because of the gameplay, but because of the movement of the bosses and the different enemies and of your hero. It's very, very. I say the hero moves in a more agile and more acrobatic way than the Dark Souls usual shenanigans. But the enemies look the same. They're like huge and intimidating and moving in very elaborate animations. It looks so good, man.
Yeah.
So give us some more statistics about this. Why is this considered such a huge breakout hit?
Look, this game is number 2 historically of concurrent players ever. Alright? The only game to surpass in Steam, yeah. The only game to ever surpass it is PUBG.
Yeah.
This game right now, as of today, had a peak of 2.4 million concurrent players for a single player.
That's nuts.
It's super nuts. The record holder before that was Cyberpunk 2077, and that one had 1 million players. 1 million. This is more than double.
Wow. That's ridiculous, man.
Sure, given most of the crowd is Chinese, and the game is Chinese, we haven't mentioned.
Yeah, we should mention that about what? Is it 80%?
According to some site.
Yeah.
I don't know how based it is. I haven't confirmed it.
Well,
but it makes sense.
We do know that a huge percent, the majority of the user base in Steam is Chinese. We do know this for a fact.
I don't know if majority compared to the entire world, but
yeah.
The whole standing point why the company, when they decided about why they decided to break into the PC market, because they were making mobile games before, is that they said they noticed that on Steam there are more Chinese accounts than US accounts.
A lot more,
exactly.
Like
and these are the two industries that they usually compare. Okay? So they said, let's publish a single player game on Steam.
Yeah, it's
will also, talk to the Chinese crowd as well as the Western crowd.
And the Western crowd.
Yes.
The thing is that they identified a huge untapped population of the gamer community, basically.
Yes.
Which is a huge percent of Chinese players on Steam, which, by the way, I never knew this. Before this game came out, I never knew. It makes sense. Logically, it makes sense. China is ridiculously huge. But from what I understand, my friend, they are more Chinese gamers, and I'm including in that mobile gamers as well, than all of the population of the United States of America. That's like 300.
The total population?
Yes, like 370 million gamers. Gamers!
Including mobile, though.
Yes, I am including mobile.
China is huge in the mobile
That's
market.
what, China is huge, period. Like, they're just, the numbers are mind-blowing if you think about
It's
it.
a sixth of the world population.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So it does make a lot of sense that you would have a majority of Chinese Steam accounts, and that's a huge untapped market because you don't see a lot of Chinese companies, AAA, not even just any company.
This is not a AAA company.
I mean, the game is
AAA quality, 100%.
the game is completely AAA
But the company
quality.
is an indie company. By definition, they're private and they're small.
I mean, they do have the backing of Tencent. Come on now.
5% stakehold.
Tencent, I don't need to tell you
5%
how much
stakehold
money
is not
those
a
guys
lot.
have.
Yes, they're very deep pockets. And the people that started this company, which we haven't mentioned in name, by the way, Game Science,
Yeah.
is the
The
developer
company.
of Wukong. The people that started the company are 7 ex-workers of Tencent who worked on an MMORPG called Asura, which is the same story. They're both based on the novel The Journey West.
Yeah, Journey to the West. That's basically the novel that the game is based on. From what I understand, this is considered to be the most famous and successful novel in the history of China, which is kind of crazy because it's a 1592 Ming Dynasty novel.
Oh, the original, it had...
I'm sure it had modernized iterations,
of
but
course.
it doesn't matter. It survived up until to this day, and it's still extremely popular to this day in China. In China history, mythology, whatever you want to call it. We should probably talk about a little bit about the. I researched a little bit about the story, Journey to the West, because I said to myself, what made this game so amazingly wishlisted and anticipated as it was? Because the game, they've been promoting it from like 4 years ago with like a trailer, right?
A pre-alpha trailer, which blew up on the internet. Game out of the blue, no one even heard of them before.
2020, something like that.
August 2020.
Yeah. And this was a UE4. They made it a trailer on UE4 at first.
They basically showed 13 minutes of gameplay. There were a few boss fights and exploration and all the little things that make up these games.
Yeah.
And people lost it. Chinese crowd lost it on their Chinese YouTube thing. I think it's a YouTube thing. Bilibili it's called. They had, I think, reached 25 million views.
That's nuts.
On their social media, they were calling it something of China, the child of China, the present of China, something. I don't remember the exact phrase. They were loving it and they were praising it.
Yes.
And also on the western side of the planet, you had YouTube. They had 2 million, almost 2 million, 1.3 million views on their account, and like 5 million views on IGN's YouTube account.
Damn.
And not just views, the Reddits, everywhere people were praising this gameplay. The people were even, skeptical if it's really gameplay. They started saying maybe it's CGI, maybe it's
It looked too good to be true.
yeah.
Especially in 2020.
And then they gave an exclusive interview to a guy from IGN China, and he played the game. He went there, he played the same version that they showed. They even showed him some things that they weren't in the trailer. And he said it's all true, it's a playable game, it's unbelievable. Everyone lost it, people were waiting for this game. It was one of the most wishlisted games on Steam.
Yeah, from what I understand, that trailer basically also got them so many developers from the West as well.
That was the point of it.
Yeah, I know. Trying to send CVs to Game Science, the company, and get on that. They saw the potential from that trailer, and that trailer was on UE4 before they even moved to UE5 to make the actual game.
Bro, a day after the trailer came out, they had 10,000 CVs waiting for them. Their HR department was not equipped to handle that.
Bro, that's nuts, brother.
We're talking about a team of 30 people. 30 people.
Back then.
Yeah, and they get more than 10,000 resumes in one day.
Yeah, today it's estimated that they're definitely
Up to 200, according to the LinkedIn.
Yeah, this game is so ambitious. Visually, it's like eye-meltingly beautiful. You can tell that a lot of love and care was poured into it. Without even playing it, just from the visual and animation standpoint and the audio standpoint, from the trailers. You can tell that immediately, right? You don't need to play the game. I'm sure that the game itself, the gameplay is also amazing, but we won't be talking about that because we haven't played it yet. So what I wanted to say that I wanted to understand why is Journey to the West considered such a success story that stood the test of time for centuries, literal centuries. It survived.
The Chinese people, as I understand,
They're very traditional. Yeah,
exactly. They're very traditional. They're very strongly tied to the traditions. So
yeah, so
it makes sense.
It does. So I went on and researched it a little bit, and basically the story of Journey to the West, which by the way the game is loosely based on. It's more based on the game itself happens after the plot of the actual Journey to the West story.
After the journey was completed.
Yeah. So what happens is basically there's a monk. He's in the 7th century. He's being sent to retrieve for the Chinese Empire holy scriptures from India.
The Buddhist scriptures.
Yes, the Buddhist. Yes, exactly. This was like an extremely important quest, and they went on and done it. The monk went on and did it.
Xuanzang was his name.
Yeah, and he was tasked with 3 protectors, and one of those protectors was the Monkey King. The Monkey King is basically Wukong. That's like his name in Chinese or Mandarin.
The head of the studio said that this was very important to him to correct the world because the names of Monkey Kings in other games and other adaptations was not Wukong. They had different names for him, and he said, but the name of the guy is Wukong. People need to know this.
His actual name, his full name is Sun Wukong.
Yeah.
That's his full name, the Monkey King. And he is actually the protagonist or the character that you control in the game.
Yes.
Not the monk that goes and retrieves it, but the monkey that protects
went and retrieved it already.
Yeah. So after he retrieved that, this is where the plot of the game is. After he retrieved the scrolls, the monkey got ascended to godhood. What do they call it?
Buddhistic godhood.
Yeah, exactly. They tell him, come on, join us with the rest of the boss gods, right?
Here are your powers.
Yeah, exactly. And he kind of says, nah, bruh, I want to retire. I want to go live alone.
I don't mix with you people.
Yeah, I want to live alone and in peace in some mountain. Leave me alone. And
with my monkeys.
Yeah, usually when you say you refuse royalty or godhood or deities, they don't tend to take that very well, do they?
Especially when they offer something that they think is a great boon.
Yeah, it is a great boon for whoever wants it, right? But he doesn't want it. So that's basically where the story of the game begins.
They're sending people to rough you up. That's the story.
Pretty much. We should also mention that there was like a Chinese television series which you probably saw in the introduction for this video, that you can probably still find all the episodes in YouTube, by the way. The series is from the 80s, 1986 to be specific, and it was praised for being one of the most original and faithful interpretations of the novel, of the original novel. The show itself looks, I'm sorry if we have any Chinese listeners, the show itself to Westerners, okay, it looks ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie, it looks over the top and ridiculous.
If you know Chinese or at least Far Eastern cinema, all their movies are ridiculed like that. This is their style, and you need to understand that.
I understand that. Yeah, it's very different than us, but it is
over Crouching Tiger and whatever. Although there's always the wires from the top and the ridiculous jumps and flying through the air.
The difference is that movie actually worked very well in the Western audiences because that shows a very different. It's over the top, but it's not as schmaltzy and as I don't know what the word is.
Sure, but a 1980s show that is designed for the Chinese people will cater to them, you know?
Yes. Yeah, for sure, and it did. It was very, very successful. It looks ridiculous to us, but it was extremely successful. And that actually, I mean, a lot of the design you can actually see.
Yeah, the game was inspired by it.
You can see a monkey man jumping and rolling all over the show. I mean, that's basically most of the show is monkey man rolling around in the air. Anything else you want to say about this?
How you want to explain to me how Xbox is, got
shafted again?
Shafted
I mean, this is Microsoft's issue, really. This is on Microsoft, bro. Didn't it happen? Something similar happened with Cyberpunk when it
with Baldur's Gate.
Oh, with Baldur's Gate, yeah.
Exactly. The release to Xbox was delayed a few months after the release for every other platform in the world because Xbox have a policy something, at least allegedly. They have a policy something that they force all the developers to develop games for the Xbox that have to run well both on X and S series. And this
is a problem for modern games, especially because this game is heavy on the computer.
Of course,
it's very heavy.
It looks unbelievable.
It has crazy. It's very scalable. Yeah, you have DLSS that can help you with the FPS. You have the frame generation. You have all the usual stuff. but it can go up to cinematic level. That's like the literal name of the preset for the graphical options. And that cinematic level is designed literally for next generation of GPUs and CPUs.
Sure.
You can still run it on existing hardware, but it's not going to be running very well probably. Yeah. It's going to look absolutely ridiculous, but you're going to get some stutters. But there is no reason to play that high settings, bro. The game looks amazing even on high settings, normal high settings, or very high if you can afford it. Game looks amazing, period.
Yeah, and be that as it may, Xbox owners who want to play on their Xbox will have to wait months.
I mean, the fact that Microsoft hasn't changed that policy, that they make you still want it to come up to the older generation of the Xbox. So is it the X one?
S, I think is the older one.
Yeah, We're not console people. If you haven't figured that one out.
PC players.
Yeah, we're PC elitists, disgusting PC elitists. That's all we got to say about this subject. I'm planning to play this game. It looks crazy.
Yeah, if I had free time, I would play it, but my time is very limited, and there's a lot of other games that I'd rather play.
For sure. I'll once I play the game, I'll update you about the actual gameplay.
Sure.
And maybe we'll talk about it in our next podcast. And we want to hear from you guys, basically. What do you guys think about the whole Wukong phenomenon? Those of you who actually played it, let us know below. Does this game really deserve a 96% overwhelmingly positive on Steam, on the Steam reviews? And if so, why? Let us know. And if you haven't played the game, are you planning on playing it? Is it on your wish list like it's on mine? And why are you excited to play it?
Yeah.
Alright guys, that's it for us. Midgame Life Crisis. I am Inconsistency.
I'm Werewolf.
See you guys next time.